Hi, my name is Kayla.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is Read Leer Wiewenik, a YVC library podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Yellow Wallpaper. You probably recognize it because you probably had to read it in class. But we thought it would be fun to cover because if you have read it, you know that the story is unique, to say the least. What do you have to say, Hannah? You know greetings for our lovely, adoring 5 listeners?
I'm super excited to get into this.
Love the business lady casual voice.
Business lady casual. I don't know. I feel like the questions we have kind of goopy.
Yeah.
And so much so that I was gonna type a document and be like, this is how I'm gonna answer. But she's a little
insane in the membrane.
A little bit, yeah.
Could the wallpaper have been any other color? How would a change in color have changed the story? How does the color yellow affect you?
Affect me, personally, as not the wife of the yellow wallpaper? Okay, so essentially, I feel like the wallpaper literally could have been any color, but they should have made it a color that you typically associate with, depression, anxiety, being mentally ill. Yellow's happy, yellow's sunny, yellow's...
See, I get that, but yellow is also sickly. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about, people with jaundice?
Yeah, kind of. Or, think of, nicotine stains on a wall. Yellow can also indicate sickliness.
Well, I have and plus, nicotine stains aren't always yellow. Sometimes I'm, brown.
Oh, well, you know what I meant. I feel like, personally, I don't think the wallpaper could have been another color because it was, this yellow, acrid, nasty, infection-looking wallpaper.
Oh, so you're implying...
And it added to the story, I think.
You're implying that you wouldn't read it if the book was called, the lilac wallpaper?
Well, of course I'd read it if it was called the lilac wallpaper.
What about, the emo black wallpaper?
But I'm just saying, personally, in the story, I think the yellow was a good choice because, in my head, it vibes with sickliness. But it's a specific shade of yellow, not every color of yellow. The yellow that they're describing in the book. So hold your haunches. I know it's your favorite color.
This is Caleb Bibbing. She hates the color yellow, and she thinks it's sickly. Put that on the record.
I think it is sickly. What can I say? I feel like if she used, red or something, it wouldn't have made sense.
I mean, they could do, blood and red with, stains on it.
Yeah, I
the
guess.
The blood and red wallpaper.
But does that relate to her mental illness? She wasn't bleeding out of her pores. She was sickly and crazy.
Maybe that's why I like yellow, because I'm sickly and crazy.
That's probably it, yeah. I think, the psychological implications is yellow is typically a happy color, but this story kind of flipped that and gave it a more sickly, gross, she's going crazy and dying vibe.
The yellow wallpaper is, older than sin.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. It's pretty old, but still. And the thing is, I'm pretty sure she added the color yellow because when they had, bright wallpapers back in the Victorian day, that was laced with, lead or arsenic, which could lead to poisoning.
The way I eat up some lead right now.
Girl, you're insane.
There's stuff in the desk.
Yeah, there is stuff in the desk. Very good, darling. How does the narrator's description of the wallpaper change over time? How is the wallpaper representative of the domestic sphere?
I feel like as she kind of gets
crazier,
cuckoo bananas, the wallpaper changes.
Yeah, she starts enjoying it more instead of hating it and wishing she could rip it up.
Why when I was reading this, I imagined that TikTok audio and it's crazy? I was crazy once.
Yeah, no, I get that. But no, I feel like the crazier and crazier she got, the more she found comfort in the yellow and the lady in the wallpaper, I guess.
Girl.
And
as man in the walls.
Literally. And as for the domestic sphere option, obviously her husband was kind of treating her sickly and she was a kid who couldn't take care of herself.
You know that thing old people say when it's if you think you're old, you're gonna act like you're old.
See, I think
if you're sick, you're gonna be sick.
I think at the beginning her relationship with her husband was a little bit better, but as the story went on, her relationship with her husband declined as her relationship with the wallpaper increased, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm standing up like this because my knees hurt. I gave you the chair because I love you, so maybe sit down.
I don't know, I think it's funny.
Could the story have taken place in a different place? Could the story have taken place in a different place or at a different time? Why does the narrator live in a colonial mansion?
Because it's the Victorian era and we're
And that's when the sickly wallpaper with arsenic and lead. I really think she was trying to tie that into the story.
I need you to understand, they only recently got out of, like, lead and paint and stuff.
Yeah,
like, it's
no.
not like... Young House is so old that things probably lead in young paint somewhere.
Womp womp.
Just don't eat it.
Yeah, that's probably why I have 2 brain cells. But I don't think it could have taken place in a different place or time, personally.
That's my thing.
I feel like the story was very into the setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
And the peasant Anna.
Yeah, like, let's go to our penthouse, our colonial mansion. Let's go sit in the gardens, you know what I mean? Okay, what are the conflicts in the Yellow Wallpaper? Obviously, there's a conflict between her and her husband and their marriage going to shambles while the lady's getting crazier and crazier.
I would also like to maybe throw my hat in the ring that I think there's a conflict between the husband and the wallpaper, because, I mean, in the end, him and his sister do end up, like...
No, wasn't that the maid?
Was it the maid?
I
think it was
maid.
his sister, because his sister was, her like, health...
Oh, yeah. Like, for some reason, I thought the maid was also in on it. But maybe I could be misremembering. You know, I have Swiss cheese brain. And obviously, the emotional conflict, like her losing a bit more of herself and wanting to, like, live in the wallpaper, basically. I don't know. I feel like if that were me and I had to be surrounded by that peeling, nasty wallpaper, I'd probably go insane.
I love the discussion. Peeling.
Yeah, it was peeling.
My thing is, like, if you live in a nice house, how do you have peeling wallpaper?
It's because they were renovating it, weren't they? They were renovating it and they were going to leave after it was done. Because I think they were like Victorian
there for the
flippers.
summer.
Or something like that.
I don't know.
I'm not for sure. Do you care about the characters? Do you like or dislike them? How real or unreal do they seem to you?
I love this question because, like...
Honestly love our crazy main character. She's kind of iconic.
She's kind of... I see a little bit of myself in her.
Oh, girl.
No, could you imagine?
You see shapes in the wallpaper, too?
I see men in my walls.
Oh, my God.
Kind of love him, kind of hate him. I feel like I hate how, specifically, she was portrayed. Like, I feel like, she is woman. She is sick.
She frail. She can't do anything for herself.
She have to look at wallpaper.
Yeah, no.
Womp womp.
Yeah, I liked her, but I felt bad for her too. And John, that was his name, right? I didn't like him. Does the Yellow Wallpaper end the way you expected? Did you expect a longer or more involved narrative?
No, I feel like if the Yellow Wallpaper honestly was any longer...
Yeah, like it's a short story. It was meant to cut off at a certain point.
Wasn't it only like 10 pages?
I think it was around 10 pages, yeah. It did kind of end the way I expected. I saw her getting loonier and loonier, and then I was like, she's not going to want to leave the wallpaper. And then obviously she didn't want to leave the wallpaper. Well, I mean, like,
obviously they did what they had to do.
Yeah.
They destroyed her wallpaper.
Yeah, that was insane.
Why did I say it like that?
I don't know. You were feeling it. You were getting into it. What is the role? Yeah. What is the role of women in the text? How are mothers represented? Obviously, women are portrayed as crazy and frail and not being able to take care of themselves.
And like wallpaper.
And I guess women really like wallpaper. I feel like we were seeing how she was mistreated and how sexism was prevalent back then.
I would also like to point out that I think the author just did a really bad job at portraying like women, and I
think she meant to.
I think she meant to. Don't get me wrong, but like, even so, I still feel like it was a little out of touch for me. Like
it was written a long time ago, sweetie. It's gonna be very out of touch.
Was it out of touch from you?
Yeah, dude. Obvs.
What do you say?
I wouldn't let any man say those things to me. I would throttle him. Point blank, period.
We need to put you in the wallpaper.
Just put me down. How does the narrator's relationship with her husband evolve, change? We've discussed this. It obviously gets worse towards the end of the story.
It progresses negatively.
And her husband's just kind of rude. And honestly, I kind of felt like he was sneaking around with a maid. Did you get that vibe?
Yeah.
I kind of got the vibe that he was just sneaking around with a young, healthy maid while his wife was suffering.
You know what it was giving? It was almost like he was waiting for her to die.
Yeah, like decline, like, oh, stay in there, you'll feel better.
He made, like, he put him in the living room with his wallpaper and knew. I feel like he knew it was going to make him cuckoo, fucking bananas.
I think so,
and they were eventually going to have to put him down. And guess what?
I mean, she kind of almost put herself down.
I mean, we love a gang of loss.
She says, I'm going to lock myself in the room with the wallpaper.
I love the wallpaper! I love the wallpaper!
Pretty much, yeah. Why is the yellow wallpaper sometimes considered essential reading in feminist literature? Also think we kind of covered that. Obviously, it's portraying women as, like, weak and not being able to take care of themselves, and men kind of being dismissive and rude and be like,
and not only
oh, you're just a woman. You don't know better.
Not only that, like, men with hero complex.
I know.
Like, I feel like
there's nothing worse than a sexist man with a hero complex.
Yeah, like, in my life, like, I have men in my life, obviously. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
It should be a girl world. But, like, I have a dad, heaven forbid. He has 3 daughters, also heaven forbid. But, like, the dynamic in my house is, like, he never puts my mom down, but he does do certain things. Like, he's the one with the job. He provides for his family, she stays home with the kids.
Very
she would get a job.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the money would be helpful.
But, like, I guess, like, my whole, like, that whole little tidbit is, like, men could be more dominant and not be, like, absolutely, like,
rude, controlling,
disrespectful.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Just, it's definitely unique.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy or hate most about the yellow wallpaper?
Didn't I say the yellow wallpaper?
You enjoyed it or hated it?
Both.
That's fair.
Like, I had my, like, sometimes I was sitting there and I'm like, maybe the yellow wallpaper has the fun of me made a lot.
Oh my god. I loved how the story progressed and how she was kind of getting loonier and loonier. I was like, okay, so we're getting into it, literally. But like I said, I hated the way that she was treated by John.
Well,
and I kind of hated how it ended. I wanted something else.
Danny, you even say how she was mistreated because John just sat there and, like, mistreated her the whole
literally and was basically like, just sit there, you'll feel better. And then she started feeling worse and worse, and he's like, oh no, you're definitely getting healthier, I can see that glow.
That was my favorite
and
part.
I was like, what do you mean? She's literally getting sicklier and crazier, and apparently she's a bill of health now.
I love that. I could see the glow going. I'm like, no, you can't.
Like, the glow is dead. It died a long time ago.
I love the wallpaper.
Literally.
I love what you've done with the place.
It's insane. But overall, I really did enjoy this short story. I've read it before. Obviously, it's a classic. But if I had to rate it out of 10, I would probably give it a 7.5. What are you feeling, girl?
I give it, I think, a 3 out of 5.
Okay, so
About
7.5 out of 10 and a 3 out of 5. We're mixing numerical systems. It's all good.
Well, I always an 8 out of 5.
That's so weird. I always rate out of 10.
Why would you rate out of,
like, why would you rate out of 5?
Because, like, on, like, book apps like Goodreads,
yeah,
they don't have you 8 out of 10. They have you 8 out of 5.
I know, that's fair.
I know that was.
But I always
know.
I always rate out of 10. I don't know.
It was
10 out of 10 would play again. GG, folks. No. Just end the episode there. GG, goodbye.
GG, guys. GG.
But yeah, no, overall I liked the story and I had fun covering it with you. And I hope you guys, the few of you that are listening, enjoyed it. And we'll see you next episode. Maybe, if we don't get consumed by the wallpaper.
If the wallpaper doesn't take us, we'll definitely be here. But we have to check the agenda.
Yeah. Anyways, bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Girl.
Say bye.